What's going on, everybody? It's the homie Trinity here, man. We're going to give you guys our episode 6 of Last of Us. Um, Series is moving right along, man. Like in this particular episode, I thought it was kind of dope, man. That it kind of left behind. First off, I want to start off by saying that the wife in the beginning of this episode was probably my favorite part about the entire episode. Old boy, old boy came back in the cut, yo. He was just like, "You made him some soup." She was like, "This, it's cold outside."
Chilling, like in the middle of the apocalypse, he's chilling.
Yo, she was just sitting back. She was just like,
"Yeah, whatever. Got to do with a gun."
He brought a girl with him.
Yeah.
Are you lying to me?
Right.
No.
But he
so
come in paranoid either. He was just like, "What's going on?" He wasn't freaking out.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that it also kind of touched though on how with them being secluded the way that they were, like when they brought up the fireflies, and she was just like, "They're fireflies now." You know what I'm saying? Like we see them in the spring.
yeah, she was like,
"They're out the loop. They're off the grid."
Right. And
that saved them.
He kind of hinted. I mean, Joel kind of hinted on that. I think it was in like episode 3 where they were out in the woods, and Elle was like, "Yo, like, is anybody coming?" He's like, "Yeah, ain't nobody coming out here." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, that kind of led into that, but they wound up coming up onto the camp. You know what I'm saying? And Joel is reunited with his brother. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was a pretty dope moment, but I think that the relationship between Joel and Elle when the dog was released to come up to see whether or not they were infected when they first had gotten surrounded. You know what I'm saying? He was genuinely nervous that dog was going to tear her to shreds. And he said it later on in the episode as well. But him and that look that he had on his face, man, was just that connection that he was trying to avoid in the beginning. It's strengthening. You know what I'm saying? Each and every episode is strengthening. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
When they released that dog, though, dude, like I was like, "Oh, she's about to get jacked up, dog." You know what I'm saying? Like firefight in the first 10 minutes of the show. Yes, but they wind up recommitting, or not recommitting, excuse me, but they wind up coming together. You know what I'm saying? He winds up seeing his brother. They have that embrace, and they realize, man, like they got electricity, they got heat, they got water.
Yeah.
I mean, Tommy's out here making bourbon. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he even said, all we need to do is find us some pigs and we got some bacon. I mean, they literally had created a utopia in an apocalyptic world. You know what I'm saying? And I think
Joel,
he might have. You don't know
bourbon. They got bourbon.
Joint of hand sanitizer anywhere.
Hey, they got bourbon, so
that's a plus.
That's alcohol. That's alcohol.
Olive.
100% proof. That's alcohol. That's gonna kill anything.
But I thought that it was dope, man. Like they talked about, you know what I'm saying, it being a commune, you know what I'm saying, and everybody owns everything. Like there wasn't, I mean, of course you need leadership regardless of how you look at it, but Joel, I think he was a little taken back, you know what I'm saying, that his brother was doing as well as he was, considering the fact that the last time that we had seen him, he was going to get him because he got into a daggone fight and he was getting him out of jail, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, he winds up coming in, there at the end of episode 1, he, shoots old boy in the head, but it was just one of those things, man, where it was like, I'll be honest with y'all, it wasn't the reunion that I was expecting to happen. I was expecting a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, as far as you ain't seen this dude and you done traveled from Boston to Wyoming and you get a 2-second hug, you know what I'm saying? And then it's let's go drink. Let me show you around. You know what I'm saying? So it was like straight back to business. So I thought that it would have maybe added to the story a little bit. Like if Joel really would have told him what he'd been through in order to be able to get there. But I think that Joel was also trying to feel him out a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? Like, was he still part of the Fireflies at that point in time? Like, did he know where he needed to take Elle? I mean, the little scene that they had when they actually went into the bar and you saw Joel kind of, rubbing on the bar top, thing like that. there was a little bit of jealousy, I think, when Tommy did tell Joel that, old girl was his wife and that they were expecting. Because I still think that Joel thinks that if he never had to go get Tommy, that he would have been there for his daughter and that night would have went differently. So yeah, so like when they were in the bar, you know what I'm saying, and they're talking about, and he reveals that, Chick is his wife and that they're getting ready to have a baby. And I don't know, man, like I think that Joel just kind of was like, this dude can't be having no kid, man. Like he's irresponsible and shit, not knowing anything that he had done over the course of however many years it had been, you know what I'm saying, since all that shit went down with Sarah from episode 1. But
you're responsible though, or do you think he's just going through post-traumatic stress? Like, damn, like I lost everything and now you about to start brand new and I'm just in survival mode and you've regrouped. And
I think it was a mixture of, I lost my daughter. I've killed people to save you, to get us fed, to do all this other stuff. And now you get to live the American dream. Like you're here in this compound where y'all got hot water to wash your ass with and you're about to have a baby. Like, no baby. I think that's where it was coming.
I think Joel's whole existence was finding his brother. And Tommy basically had essentially forgotten about him. You know what I'm saying? He had moved on. And Joel was like, yo, like, I didn't drag my ass all the way across the daggone United States to come try and find you. You know what I'm saying?
And you could give 2 shits.
Yeah,
you laid out here, you know what I'm saying, with white picket fences and man. And then of course, him leaving the bar and then seeing the behind the view shot of a girl that immediately brought back memories, you know what I'm saying, of his daughter and stuff like that. And you kind of flash forward a little bit to Elle seeing the names written up on the board and her having a conversation with Tommy's wife about how she lost her kid, but that Sarah was actually Joel's kid, and now she's starting to put those puzzle pieces together. But I thought that it was crazy, man, because this was the first episode where you actually realized how weak Joel was. You know what I'm saying? Because he let it out, like everything that I've tried to do, I failed. You know what I'm saying? And it all started back to the night that Sarah passed away, when the whole world fell apart. I think that when he broke down there in front of Tommy and was just like, yo, I can't do this. She's important. I can't. Tess is dead. Sarah's dead. I basically have a heart attack every time I go outside and I even think about it. You know what I'm saying? And I need you to do this for me. And I don't know if he was prepared mentally himself to be able to literally look at somebody who not 20 minutes earlier, he was just like, the hell you mean you getting ready to, have a kid and now you married and you out here, like Roy said, living the American dream. You know what I'm saying? When everybody else is out here wondering whether or not the funky face is going to, wind up coming to get him. But I think that he genuinely, he had a hater moment, dude. Like he was like, yo, what in the hell, man? Like you cut off all radio communication. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like you cut off all radio communication with me, like, because she said so.
Yeah.
I'm your brother. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. I think his feelings were really genuinely hurt that, he's out here trying to kill himself, trying to get across the country to try and find him. And he's out here like, here, dude, had this Buffalo Trace. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
not Buffalo.
I don't know, man. Nah.
It done been replaced.
That's a conversation for a different day. I think that, all in all, man, what happened there towards the end of the episode where Elle basically says, yo, to hell with you. You just pawning me off on the next person because you didn't even think to ask me what I wanted. Like, and I think at that point in time, like he kind of sat back and I was like, yo, damn, yo, like he looked at her dead in her face and said, I'm not your father. You're not my daughter. Tommy's taking you. I'm going to bed. And he turned around and walked the hell out. You know what I'm saying?
So defense
mechanism. It is. And it's one of those things, man, where like, she immediately was just like, here I go again. You know what I'm saying? And she said it. Every person that you think you're the only person that lost anybody? Every person that I've ever been attached to I've lost as well. And now I'm losing you because of the choice that you're making without even asking me first.
I mean, for me, this episode definitely like spoke on like fatherhood. Like everybody in here is a father. So like, how many times have you like woken up and like, damn, I didn't do enough, or I should have done this, or I'm not, I'm not doing what I need to do for my family. Like I know personally I've gone through that. So when he's breaking down, like every father had that moment. Not in the apocalypse, but like everyone's probably looked at themselves like, yo, I'm not doing anything right. I can't help this person. I can't save this person. And then that panic, that's real shit. Like waking up every day, like, yo, I gotta get this done, but I'm shaky. Like I'm not at my full capacity right now, but I still gotta do it. And how many times have either one of y'all asked for help? I know I don't ask for help ever, and it's a burden. So imagine if this is the freaking apocalypse. So everything that dude is, he's not weak. Like he's going through post-traumatic stress. Like he's damaged. And it started with losing his kid. Like no one's prepared for that. So this show is doing an excellent job of capturing that type of storyline, but throwing in like actual real life stuff. Like think of the things that we're speaking about, even jokingly, like no Purell. But as an educator, like you'll be amazed how many parents I hear say, oh, well, I had to get them a cell phone. No, you didn't. Everybody in this room survived without a cell phone. So, but these shows will show you exactly like how they're surviving without these things that we feel like we can't live without now. Come to my school, see if you don't see a kid glued to their phone. So this was an ill episode in terms of like seeing, like you said, E, where he didn't want to get attached, but you could see it inevitably happening. You're a coach. Those kids are not your biological children, but let them get hurt or sick and see if you don't feel something.
The baby shower I'm going to next month, you know what I'm saying, for one of the kids, man, because he's getting ready to have a son, and I'm not gonna not be there, you know what I'm saying. And that's that thought process of and all of us have had it, man, you know what I'm saying. Any father that wakes up every single day and goes, all right, I got to do this, I got to make sure that I get this done, I got to get this, I got to do this, and then I got to be at the recital, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, and then I got to make sure that I'm at the game, I got to do this, I got to pick them up, I got to take them here, I got to, just on a daily, day in and day out basis, without having to worry about, you know what I'm saying, some dude whose head's split open and tearing people apart chasing you, So I think that the show, like you said, man, they've done a phenomenal job of, here's the story, but here's all the little small pieces of the puzzle that kind of go into it. You know what I'm saying? So the flashback scenes of him and Sarah hanging ornaments on a Christmas tree.
That's a fantasy. That's real. She was gone.
Right. And, like I was telling Nick the other day, man, like when we went to DC, I asked him, I was like, did you have a good time at the game? And he was like, yeah, man, I appreciate it. And I told him, I was like, look, man, you got to take what you can from a fatherhood standpoint. My biggest thing with both of my kids is making sure that they understand that they don't have what I think they deserve to have, but they're going to have everything that I can afford to give them. You know what I'm saying? And it's the small trips. It's driving up to DC on a Friday, going to a game Friday night, and getting up at 6, getting on the road at 7:00 in the morning so that he can get back here and get to practice. It's the memory of that first game that we went to, and I told him, I said, you take that and you kind of run with it. And I think that's the thing right now is Joel's looking at his brother and going, yo, you're getting ready to have a legacy. Mine is no more. The only thing that I have now is her. And she doesn't realize that the whole reason why he was doing it, as far as passing her off to Tommy, was because he doesn't feel as if he can successfully get her to where she needs to be.
Right.
And he would die if anything happened to her. And that's that fatherhood instinct kicking in that he's fighting.
Just wait. That's why I keep telling y'all to watch the freaking walkthrough at least, because that comes into play. Like they're dropping mad nuggets. Had you played the game, you're seeing exactly where this is going. So there's only so much I can tell you here, but this becomes like, I can only imagine what the last episode is going to do to you guys when you see it. Because I have a feeling what that last episode is going to be, and y'all both are going to be like, oh.
I mean, this episode had different feelings for me. going back to Ellie and her nonchalant attitude towards the world, like these people just took you into this impenetrable compound, just fed you this hot meal, telling you they're gonna give you a house to sleep in, and she still got
Foul
that
mouth.
little punk. She still got that little punk attitude. So that's one take on it. Once she figures out, that Joel, lost his daughter and everything else, she kind of changes a little bit. But then on the other side of it, with Joel, like you said, whether he broke down or he's got PTSD or whatever else, his brother just told him he's about to have a baby. So he knows what that means. But then he goes, I need you to take this girl. I need you to leave the safety of this compound with your baby mama or your wife about to have a baby and go out here into the unknown and deliver this girl because I can't do it. So I got mixed emotions on that. Yeah. I understand that Joel is going through some stuff because he did have some issues. He does have some real issues, some PTSD, all this other stuff. And we all talked about, he's mad at his brother for one, because like you said, his whole purpose was, I haven't heard from my brother on the radio in however long. Where was the last, fix from? Where was the last time they heard from him? So he gets there and he finds his brother. He breaks down. His brother's like, the hell are you doing here? Like, I done forgot about you. I got my own life now. Like, why are you here? Now you messing up my groove. Like, I'm leading this compound. I'm eating good. Everything's great. What are you doing here? So to me, this episode was a whole mix of emotions back and forth. And then, Joel, he sucked it up. He said, no, I'm going to take you. And then what happens at the end? Dude get a baseball bat in the gut.
I can tell you this because it's already passed. So like when they get to that university, wherever they get to, like it's almost like exactly the way it was in the game. Like they show up, they're looking around, and they're cautious like they always are. And they think they're gonna run into some clickers, but it's actually the monkeys. And then that's actually like almost right out of the game. And then the Raiders come and they got a little battle scene, and then boy falls like out of the window over the ledge onto, what is that called, Royce? Rebar, that metal stuff?
Yeah, rebar, yep. Mm-hmm.
He falls on that in the game. So like, of course, yeah, it's crazy, like kind of like Rick in Walking Dead. So I don't know why they just didn't put that in the show, because we saw Rick do it in Walking Dead. But I don't know. Maybe it was just too gruesome, or maybe not as believable. I get the whole baseball bat, but that's almost identical to how it is in the book. So, I mean, the book and the game. So what's going to happen now is everything leading up to this scene, if you rewind and go watch it, like her wanting to learn how to do things and be a little bit more independent, and how he's kind of show her how to use a pistol or a weapon or whatever the case is. And like even her like grabbing like the rabbit from the two jokers in the cabin, like you're about to see a new villain if they do it the way I think it is. And she's gonna have to basically take care of Joel as he heals through this. So there's a whole segment coming up. It's probably gonna be the majority just her learning how to take care of everything.
You kind of see that though when she was just like, he was like, she asked him the very beginning, what shift do you want me to take? And he was like, I got both of them. You go get some sleep. Mm-hmm. And then he wakes up and she's over there with the daggone gun, and she's like, I did everything that you showed me how to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So with you saying that, I mean, I thought it was even funny, like when they pulled up into the college and everything like that, she was just like, he's getting off the horse and he's looking around, he's like getting ready. She's like, gun? He goes, yep. She goes right into the backpack and pulls the gun out. You know what I'm saying? So, and I thought it was funny because if you go back to when he first actually showed her how to handle the pistol to begin with, one of the things that he showed her is to make sure that the chamber was loaded. And so when she got off the horse and she took the gun out of the backpack, she's putting the backpack back on, and she clicked the joint light, and it was just subtle, you know what I'm saying? But it also lets you know that despite the fact that she's hard-headed teenager, she is paying attention to the lessons that he's actually putting down. So I don't know, man. I thought that the way that they ended the episode with him falling off the horse and the whole, bleeding and everything like that, and then, it was just, again, man, they've done a really good job of moving the story along from episode to episode. And this one is like literally one of those ones where you're like, okay, the next episode drops when? You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's turned into one of those shows that it's like you can't go 24 hours and not watch this show because everybody's gonna say something about it. And if something big happens, you better stay on social media until you watch it.
Yep.
Stay logged off. Yeah, but that gun scene, like that hit home for me. Like Royce and I both are gun carrying cats. So one of the first things I know I did, and I know he did it too, is we showed the girls, right? It wasn't like a mystery. It wasn't like, oh, this taboo thing, don't touch it. It was like, yo, here it is. This is what it's used for. Here are the rules. And let me show you. Put your hands on it. You know, take it apart, put it again in, and actually show them how to shoot. Like those are survival skills. So these are like definitely great father episodes for me.
So now we're gonna go in and watch the preview for next week's episode. This is the preview for episode 7 of The Last
I
of
haven't
Us.
seen this yet.
You don't fight. Your friend fights. She's not here anymore.
You follow the rules, you become an officer. We're the only thing holding this all together.
Riley! I will tell you everything. You have to come with me for a few hours. You trust me, right? Open your eyes. Tonight, I'm gonna show you the 4 wonders of the mall.
If you come back, we could be running things. We're like the future.
You're a firefly? Yes. Ellie, put it down.
None of this shit was even about me.
Ellie! Get ready to run.
So that is the preview for next week's episode, and kind of looks back now that we see that, and we know that evidently Ellie ain't never liked to pay attention to directions.
Always been hard-headed. Always hard-headed.
Yeah.
I mean, just like, you know, we've said pretty much every week when we do this, man, like the show just gets it. They understand their niche. They understand what they're trying to do. They've got a story that they're running with, and they're doing a phenomenal job with it, man. I mean, like just that preview alone, you know, like Renee, you were saying, you're going to start seeing like some solo stuff from her for the next, you know, few episodes. I think it's dope that they're going to do a little flashback episode of where she was leading up to. Maybe this will actually show when she got bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean,
that's exactly
just kind of, you know, forecast a little bit. But I mean, at that kind of stuff, man, if you do flashbacks in the show, movie, whatever the case may be, it has to be done timely. And they've done a really good job with the flashbacks that they've done, you know what I'm saying, during this season. So,
oh yeah.
All right, man. Well, that's going to do it, man. That was our review, if you would, of The Last of Us episode 6. As always, man, we appreciate you guys for joining us. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, leave us a comment, follow us on our social medias. Ren, what are those social medias again?
You know what it is. It's Instagram, it's Twitter, it's the podcast, it's YouTube, it's at the Homie Podcast. Act like you know. Smash the button.
Yeah.
And on that note, man, y'all have a good one, man. We'll see y'all next time, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. As always, peace.
Peace.